G'day, it's Justin Hogg here from RightSource, and today I wanted to talk about why would you work with RightSource. At RightSource, we believe collaboration and contribution is the key to fulfillment. And that is how we are continuing to build our organization and grow. So we currently have an amazing team of quite diverse individuals who have not necessarily come from a not-for-profit background and have quite a different range of experiences, who now work with us in providing value to the not-for-profit space and to those with a purpose. The capability we bring is quite a strategic capability. We're looking at how an organization as a whole can really make an impact in the area that they're looking to make an impact to get their purpose, to move through the problems that they see in their way and find that direction and that alignment that achieves their goals. So RightSource is focused predominantly on the not-for-profit space and those organizations that have a social purpose. And that can sound, on the face of it, like quite a narrow space to be in. But in looking at what not-for-profits do in our economy, it covers basically every industry and geographical space you could look at. We look at areas like aged care, peak bodies, healthcare, education. There is a number of different areas and ways that not-for-profits operate, and they all operate both in a similar way to achieve a purpose, but every industry is different. And what this brings is a diversity both of experiences and way of tackling problems. So an organization in the logistics space will tackle problems very differently to someone in an aged care space. But that doesn't actually mean that the way that they tackle things isn't transferable between the two. So one of the amazing things of RightSource is the ability to compare and contrast how different organizations tackle what can sometimes be very similar problems. And at a board level, and working with the board and the executive of these organizations, being able to see how those components of an organization, how they function, how they facilitate the organization's purpose, and how they go about that, and be able to compare and contrast, not just be in one organization and trying to make that organization better, but being able to be in multiple organizations at the same time, seeing how they're all tackling problems and learn how things work and how things are successful, and being able to apply that across a number of different situations. So what it allows us to do at that executive and board level is actually see the patterns that work across the industry and across multiple organizations. And those patterns really allow you to then get a deeper understanding of how you are able to help, and also how aspects of governance works. As an example of one of the things that you see when working with RightSource is you'll have a board, for example, that'll meet monthly and they'll take 4 hours to do their board meeting. And you'll have another organization, potentially bigger and more complicated, that's meeting every 6 to 8 weeks for 2 hours and still getting the same value out of that meeting as the other organization that's spending 4 hours doing it. By being able to see how these things work, and you then start to understand the causes and the realities that are causing these things, which then allows you to actually provide that input to the organizations that allow them to grow and improve. The other aspect it does, especially for the team at RightSource, is when you're a company secretary or working in the governance space, if you're doing it for one organization, you learn as you go and as you have experiences. By working in sometimes 3 or 4 or 5 organizations at once, you really accelerate your learning because you're seeing multiple situations in multiple ways in a much more intensive process. And that intense process is supported because you've got people around you who are able to provide you guidance, insight, you can bounce these ideas off with. So really what RightSource provides is an accelerator approach for those who are wanting to deepen their level of understanding of governance and the ability to help those who want to have help in that space. The other aspect that I find incredibly enjoyable at RightSource is in working in the not-for-profit space. We're working with organizations who are trying to solve things that either haven't been completely solved or have never been solved, whether that's curing cancer, making sure people don't go hungry, or making sure that a 2-year-old child is able to communicate with their parents. All of these things are challenges that are hard, and working in the organizations that are trying to solve these problems is both at the same time in itself challenging because you're trying to help facilitate as much as you can their success, but is also incredibly rewarding because you get to see differences that are made that might be very small incremental improvements, but you get to see what was and then what is now and what could be. And that involvement allows a much richer working environment than I've experienced anywhere else. And then who we work with in these organizations, be those the boards or the volunteer directors that might be on those boards, the CEOs and the executives, are all people who are in these organizations because they want to make a difference. So you're surrounding yourself by people who want to make a difference every day they get up. And that is absolutely contagious. And that becomes part of the RightSource DNA, in that every day we get up, we want to make a difference. Yes, we're providing governance help and we're helping organizations who want to make a difference, but every day in everything we do, we want to make sure that it's making a difference to somebody. What is it that RightSource brings to an organization we work with? Fundamentally, we help with the alignment of the organization of its people to its purpose, and we do that through governance and other specialized services that support that work in providing that alignment. And RightSource, we believe in fulfillment through contribution, in elevating purpose through governance, and through making a social impact in providing specialized services. And that's what we like to do every day. If you'd like to find out more about RightSource, I'm always happy to have a chat, have some more discussion about what we do, how we help, whether it's to work with RightSource or for RightSource, be part of our team, be part of our community, and be part of the impact that we're hoping to make. Again, I thank everybody for their time. It's been Justin Hogg from RightSource.